afternoon and welcome to the Glendale Housing Authority meeting for July 7th. May we have the roll call, please?
Authority members Draymond.
Here.
Friedman.
Here.
Mency.
Here.
Parazian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Najarian.
Here. May we have your report?
The agenda for the July 7, 2009 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, July 2, 2009 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. What's the next item?
Approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. If there's no objections or corrections, the minutes will be approved as submitted. Next item, please.
Item 5 are oral communications. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff through the executive director for investigation and report.
Thank you. I do not have any cards. Are any cards submitted to you, Madam Clerk?
No.
I will then close oral communications. The next item.
At item 6A, Acting Director of Community Development and Housing, regarding professional services agreement with Kane, Balmer, Berkman for specialized legal services for affordable housing development for fiscal year 2009-10. At 6A1 is a motion authorizing the Executive Director to execute the professional services agreement in an amount not to exceed $90,000.
Mr. Starber.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is actually an open PO with Kane, Barr, Berkman, who has been the agency's special counsel for a good number of years. This just allows us, in the course of the year, to retain their services for specialized consulting on various projects. Staff recommends approval. And again, this is a limit. This is a not to exceed. Doesn't mean we have to spend it. So it depends on the number of projects we get in the course of a year.
All right. Any questions? Mr. Weaver?
No, I'll move 6A1.
Second.
Any other?
I do have a question.
Mr. Mincy?
Why the increase? I know we have a lot of projects in the works, and I know they're complicated, but I'd just like a word on it.
Actually, it's not an increase. Last year's contract was approximately $126,000, so it's
Oh, really? I had forgotten.
so it's slightly less than what we had last year, and it reflects a number of projects that are transitioning from the negotiation and DDA phase into construction. But we do have a couple of upcoming projects in this fiscal year that warrant the 90,000 PSA.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? If not, roll call.
Authority members Draymond.
Yes.
Friedman.
Yes.
Mency.
Yes.
Parazian.
Yes.
Quintero.
Yes.
Weaver. Chairman Najarian.
Yes. Next item.
Are there any authority member or staff comments?
Mr. Duran.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. We have a very brief announcement that will be made by Sona Muradian.
Good afternoon. My name is Sona Muradian from the Housing Division, and I would like to provide Housing Authority information on the marketing and the lottery process for 2 existing City of Glendale senior affordable housing projects. Southern California Presbyterian Homes, SCPH, the developer of the gardens, and Otto Gruber, will be opening up the waiting list for these 2 projects on this Wednesday, July 8th, 2009. The Gardens is a 75-unit senior affordable rental project developed in 1994, and Otto Gruber is a 40-unit senior affordable rental project developed in 2000. Both these projects all consist of 1 bedroom. Currently, there are no vacant apartments at these 2 projects. However, per the City of Glendale Affordable Agreement, when the waiting list falls below a certain number, the management company must replenish the waiting list by conducting affirmative marketing and accepting new applications. To pre-qualify, applicants must be 62 years of age or older, and their household income cannot exceed 50% of the area median income for Los Angeles County. So a one-person household cannot exceed $27,750, and a family of 2, maximum income can be $31,700. The affordable housing rent for these 2 projects is 30% of the household's adjusted income. Since both the Gardens and Otto Group are HUD 202 projects, HUD approval of the affirmative fair housing market plan was required to open up the waiting lists. Per the approved affirmative fair housing market plan, marketing and application distribution for these 2 projects will be for a 2-week period. beginning July 8th, which is tomorrow, and closing July 22nd. Applications must be postmarked no later than July 22nd to be accepted. Marketing will be in the form of commercial media in 4 languages: English, Armenian, Spanish, and Korean. Marketing will be in newspapers such as the Daily News, La Opinion, the Centennial, the Rafu Shimpo, and Ospares. It will also be televised in public service announcements on GTV6, the Larry Zarian Show. Staff will also make announcements at the Housing Authority meetings. Flyers for the Gardens and Otto Gruber project will also be mailed to households on the City of Glendale Section 8 waiting list identified as being senior households. Flyers and application packages were mailed to Glendale libraries, Glendale churches and places of worship, social service agencies, as well as Glendale parks and senior case managers. Applications will be available for pickup during normal business hours at the City of Glendale Community Development and Housing offices, which is located at 141 North Glendale Avenue, as well as 3 satellite offices: the Adult Recreation Center, which is located at 201 East Colorado, Armenian Relief Society, located at 517 West Glen Oaks Boulevard, and Catholic Charities, located at 4322 San Fernando Road. The applications will also be available to download and print on the city website at www.ci.glendale.ca.us/housing.asp and at the developer's website at www.scphs.com/affordable_housing.php. Applicants can call 1-866-801-7692. That's 1-866-801-7692 to request an application by mail. Due to the high demand for the project, a lottery drawing will be conducted to determine the priority order in which the households will be placed on the waiting list for these 2 projects. Each application will be given a unique number that will be issued to identify applicants at the lottery drawing. Original applications must be completed and returned to the specific address at the management company has established. The applications must be postmarked no later than July 22nd, 2009. City staff will review applications to assure there are no duplicates and applicants meet the income requirements. Only one application may be submitted for any household. Applications will be screened for duplicates as has been done previously. CDH staff plans to work with the developer, SCPH, in this process to ensure that quality control and assurance measures are adhered to during the application and selection process. All eligible applicants will be included in the lottery drawing to take place on August 18th at 10 a.m. at SCPH offices. Applicants do not need to be present and will be informed in writing of their lottery ticket number if they are drawn for the waiting list. 350 applications will be drawn for Otto Gruber, and 550 numbers will be drawn for the Gardens. Selection in the lottery does not guarantee that applicants are qualified. Occupancy standard and other restrictions may apply. I would like to thank you for your time, and I will be available for questions.
Mr. Mincy?
I wanted to, I don't know which one can answer this. No one can remember, like, that email address or anything when, by the time you get your pencil, it's too late. Is there a spot on our Glendale homepage? Is there some place where we can find that information when someone has a question?
Tomorrow, when the applications will be available, when you click on the City of Glendale webpage, you should see applications available for senior housing. And when you click on that, you'll see all the information, including the application and the information sheets. I've provided you with copies of what should be available online.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
The previous lotteries that we've had have been actually for placement in our low-income and moderate-income units. This is just a selection to be on the waiting list.
Yes.
And you said, for instance, the Gardens, there's about 80-some units, aren't there?
75.
75. So you're taking 550 in the waiting list.
Yes.
Does that mean that the current waiting list has been exhausted?
Yes, there's actually less than 75 households on the waiting list. And because they're required to provide, for example, a 1.5 ratio to the number of units available, they must replenish their waiting list. This is required by
What are
our
the
agreement.
ones at the 1 through 75 position in the waiting list? Do they retain their
Yes.
positions? So this is filling out the balance of 76 on down to
Yes.
700 and
Yes, it's
24 or
more,
whatever the number was.
It's more like there's about 45 to 50 left on the gardens specifically, and so when they're selected in priority order, they will be placed from whatever is the last number and on. They will also be contacted generally every 6 months, all the applicants on the waiting list, to find out if they want to still continue and are still interested in the project.
Mr. Starber.
But to be clear, can somebody, as a result of this drawing, be placed ahead of the present 1 through 45?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Are there any other comments from staff? I have a comment. I'd like to place on the next available agenda a discussion of the memo dated June 17th addressing the Housing Choice Voucher Program 2009 renewal funding allocation, and discuss the what happened, the policy implications, and the decision-making that went into to what transpired in that. Am I being vague enough, Mr. Starber? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I know exactly what you're talking
Okay.
about. This is the federal government sweeping our reserves and requiring, as a result, our vouchers going down. Yes, we'll put that on a future agenda.
Okay. Any other comments?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
And the Housing Authority is adjourned. Whatever mayor would like to do.
Development joint.